If this guy shit talks my Dark Knight, I'm gonna be pissed.
One of the last 8-tier classes, we have the Dark Knight. He's a powerful melee fighter with
First word. First word. God damn it, bro. My Dark Knight does not have a penis. Okay? I've not been gooning it to this character for the last 7 years that has a penis. Now, guys, I know that you guys all love my boy Cade Games has come out with a new tier list for Black Desert Online. Okay? It's the Black Desert tier list 2025. One of the best classes and awakenings in 2025. So let's see what the best classes of the game are. Let's see it. We've reviewed a lot of Cade Games videos. We like to spread awareness about how ass this content is.
video, I will show you the best Black Desert tier list with all the new classes.
Wait. What?
What is going on, guys? In today's video, I will show you the best Black...
Well, wait. Wait. I'm sorry, guys. For those of you that have never heard Cade before, if I type in Black Desert, oops, oh, they're on. Here we go.
Guys, Cade is here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today we are checking out the top 5 best solo player classes in Black Desert Online. So what's going on, guys? Cade is here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today we are checking out the top 5 best classes in Black...
I know what a lot of you are thinking. That intro seemed a lot like the other intro. And you would be right. The reason is, if I go to 5 minutes into this video, what's this BDO witch build right here?
So then moving over to the third class, which is the Witch. The Witch class is a typical spellcaster, with plenty of ranged AoE spells, slows, knockdowns and stuns. Her main weapon is a staff, Awakening is the Ad Serra, and her secondary weapon is a dagger. This high damage...
Interesting. That was 2 years ago, 21k views, top 5 classes, BDO 2022. And then if you come up here, top 5 best solo player classes.
So what's good? So then moving over to the third class, which is the Witch. The Witch class is a typical spellcaster, with plenty of ranged AoE spells, slows, knockdowns and stuns. Her main weapon is a staff, Awakening is the Ad Serra, and her secondary weapon is a dagger. This high damage dealing class also has a range of supporting skills.
If you aren't convinced yet, this guy literally just re-uploads the same video 2 to 4 times a year. Changes the title. It's the exact same description every single time. All of the information is completely wrong every time. And ironically enough, he gets his script from either A, another BDO content creator who has a very popular video, like Anders, for example, copied his script verbatim in a couple of his videos. Or B, from the official Pearl Abyss website. So if you go to the official Pearl Abyss website here, and you go to, let's see, overview, class introduction, and you go to any of the class introductions, he's basically just reading the class introduction for each class from the website proper. Okay, so this is what you're dealing with. This guy literally re-uploads the exact same videos 4 times a year, changes the title, doesn't care at all whether or not his information is actually valid whatsoever. Okay, so it was a little strange to me to hear, like, that was the voice that we were dealing with before. And I've said many times, I think it's an AI for sure. There's no shot that it's not an AI. We think that this is like an AI channel, so there's likely some dude in some part of the world that is just trying to get the bag, so to speak. Because there's Cade Games and then there's Cade Games 2, where he uploads the same videos to both channels, but like one of them hits the algorithm, the other doesn't. For example, he ate really good in Path of Exile 2. And the funny thing is, all of the Path of Exile 2 community hated on him and hated on him and they just kept watching his videos. They kept watching every single one of his videos. And they hated on him and they hated on him and they hated on him. But the videos got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views. Okay? Keep in mind, he is deliberately misleading millions of people around the world for any game that he plays. Whether it be MMOs, Path of Exile, or whatever. Okay, he does not care. The reason I'm drawing awareness to this particular video is because it happens to be for BDO. If he did this for Throne and Liberty, I would dumpster him too. But I am here to show you why this is just ass. That being said, he has changed his voice, which is interesting.
What is going on?
He plays, he does not play. This is actual footage. He got copyright striked in the past for taking footage from other adventures that he saw. He tries to take footage, correction, the AI tries to take footage from people.
Just resubscribed for 3 months. Cade Games best video content creator. Gotta admire the effort and dedication.
Yeah, to re-upload the same video? What are we talking about? Okay. He played to level 10. No, he got to level 7, I think. He got to level 7 total on his ninja. And that was it. Okay, he was literally farming Ultarips, trying to say how ninja was the best class in the game. Okay, hush, child. But now he uses, like, I'm pretty sure this is the Russian server. He likes to use the Russian, or the AI, or he likes to use, like, the Russian players because they don't like copyright striking.
Guys, in today's video, I will show you the best Black Desert tier list with all the new classes. So this game has a lot of unique classes and awakenings to play, and we have a wide variety to choose from. But the big question is, what class is the best and can do the highest damage possible, and much more. And a quick...
Yeah, so anybody, when you look at a tier list, guys, for BDO...
For 6 months.
Prazmaster, welcome back for 6 months, man. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Guys, when you start looking at tier lists for BDO, the first thing you need to do is you need to look at is it a PvE or a PvP tier list? Okay, because anyone that comes out and says this is the tier list for BDO, the overall tier list for the game, is a fucking idiot, and you should not be listening to them. Okay, because no self-respecting content creator that actually plays Black Desert Online would ever make a tier list like that that isn't specifically for PvP or PvE proper. Okay.
Big disclaimer, this is my personal opinion on which class performs the best. There are several builds available for each class, and each setup impacts the performance and could slightly affect the tier list. And that's why 10 out of 10 times I would always choose to play with a better player, not the better class. So then for the first one we have Warrior, and we will place him right in the A tier.
I've always said Warriors are completely busted. Couldn't agree with him more. That class needs to be nerfed. All Warrior players are pieces of shit, and we hate them. True and based. Thank you. Please nerf the class.
This guy is your typical melee bruiser, which is a great choice for both the
Whereas Bicep's an Awakening Witch.
New and veteran players. His skills emphasize a balance between offense and defense, allowing them to absorb damage while dealing significant DPS. Warriors can quickly engage enemies with agile movements and devastating combos, making them effective in both PvP and PvE.
There's no way that he took this from the website too, right? This is one of his... I've not seen... Like, this is like a new approach for him. It's a new...
just resubscribed for 2 months.
It's a new voice.
Sup?
So, my guess is he's pulling his... He's got to be pulling his information from somewhere other than the website now, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, he's not getting it directly from the website this time. New year, new Cade. Yeah. No. The crazy thing is that the AI used to pull it directly from the website. You used to just copy paste what was on the website basically and translate it. No big deal. It was word for word verbatim. Now I think that the AI has grown, and I think that it's probably pulling it from another content creator's video. The last time we saw one of Cade's videos, he was pulling it from Anders' class guide video. Anders Galler. This one.
For a class that can still deal high damage.
So this one right here. It literally pulled it directly from this video, and the reason is it's got the most overall views on a Black Desert video with all the classes in it. So let's just hear. Honestly, I'm curious. Is it doing the same thing? Is it taking it from Anders' video? Here's War. Oh, it's starting with Warrior. That's not good.
Let's start with the male classes in the game, starting with Warrior. Warrior has been a stable and reliable class since the beginning of the game. Awakening in particular is strong with great dueling potential and good.
No way.
Disclaimer, this is my personal opinion on which... So then for the first one we have Warrior, and we will place him right in the A tier. This guy is your typical melee bruiser, which is a great choice for both the new and veteran players. His skills emphasize a balance between offense and defense, allowing them to absorb damage while dealing significant DPS. Warriors can quickly engage enemies with agile movements and devastating combos, making them effective in both PvP and PvE. Choosing between Awakening and Succession for the Warrior depends on your playstyle preferences. If you prefer versatility and crowd control, go for Awakening. If you enjoy tankiness and sustained damage, then Succession might be the better choice.
Sustained damage is actually better in Awakening, in my opinion. But he's being more crafty. Yeah, no, I think that the AI is getting better.
PvE performance. While not as needed in mass PvP, the class can still do very well in smaller, more contained fights, and has become a relatively easier class to learn than it used to be. Succession tends to be less popular, but offers a simpler PvE grind and some defensive utility for group play. Overall, Warrior has been consistently good over the years with some slight balancing nerfs.
Yeah, I would say that that's sufficiently different. It's definitely not that video that he's taking it from. Wait, I've heard this script before. Again, Cade is not smart enough to come up with his own video. This is not his original content. I don't know where he's stealing it from this time, but you know what? Again, I like to see where he's going to put the different classes. So let's see where he puts Ranger.
Then for the next one we have...
I love this shit, bro. Yeah, Rangers, man. The class is ass. Bro,
the Ranger.
It seems to be from here.
What is going on, guys? In today's video, I will show you the best Black Desert tier list with all the new classes.
This is the video that we're currently watching. Why would you link this to me?
Quick, let me guess the order of classes in this video. Ranger to Sork to Zerker to Tamer to Musa to Mewa, ECT, i.e. the order of the BDO website.
And even without a question, he deserves to be placed. Then for the next one we have the Ranger. This class excels at counter, and even without a question, he deserves to be placed right in the C.
Key. I do agree. Ranger, he does need to be in the C tier, right? I've never gooned it to a man before until I saw Ranger. True. And Archer, she also belongs in the C tier.
Here. This class excels at kiting and maintaining distance from enemies while dealing significant damage. But unfortunately, she's been completely forgotten by developers for many years now. If you enjoy dynamic, then go for Awakening. Then maximizing your both potential and a more consistent Succession is the way to go. I only recommend to choose this class.
Interesting. Look at the ratio on the video is crazy. Look at the
Absolute
ratio of the video. Is crazy, bro. Hold on. Where's the comments? Even if you have 10 hours in game, you'll notice something isn't right about this tier list. It's way too general. The rankings are off by a good margin. New players don't listen to this tier list. Guys, do not listen to a word this guy is saying. He has no idea about this game. He's just a view farmer and nothing else. Bro, where's the thank nice? Okay, if you guys don't know Cade Games, he bots his comments, or he has like special like accounts that he used to comment on with the same. He had like 3 or 4 YouTube accounts probably that he would comment on his video, and they would all be the same thing. Thank nice, you know, right? Like every single time it looked like that he was botting his comments. It was crazy. So then I go to my videos to like try to prove that. I'm like, guys, these are all botted. Nobody comments on my videos that says thank nice. Okay, it's ridiculous. And now, since I have said that over a year and a half ago, everyone, because every time I post a new video, there's always one person, at least one guy that's got to be thank nice in every one of my videos. I look like I'm botting my comments. It's literally crazy, bro. Probably Cade. Yeah. I don't think it's Cade. In fact, Porkchop, I think sometimes it's you. So is it all the same? If I go to 9:32 in this video, is it exactly the same?
Reposition quickly during battles and evade enemy attacks. If you don't like bow and want to use a crossbow instead, then go with Awakening. But perhaps if you want to keep
Wait, what's he telling the archer? Wait, did he just say go with Awakening Archer? Wait, what did he just say?
Next we have Archer, which we will place right in the 8.
Vanish Wish just resubscribed for 12 months. Think nice.
Thank you, man. Vanish Wish, thanks so much. You know what? Thanks so much for the 12 months, man. Thank nice. 1 year. Thank nice. Appreciate you. I love how Ranger is the lowest ranked class in the game. Also, there's no shot that he just recommended archers to take Succession or Awakening.
Here, this class is the much better version of Ranger because of how
Bro, the Ranger mains are pissed. Yo. Yo, wait, let him cook. Let him cook, bro. Ain't no way he just said, bro, we gotta watch the whole video. Bro, we gotta watch the whole video, bro. He's not wrong. No, he's not wrong, bro. Wait, let him cook.
high AoE damage and crowd control. His playstyle emphasizes mobility, allowing him to reposition quickly during battles and evade enemy attacks. If you don't like bow and want to use a crossbow instead, then go with Awakening. But perhaps if you want to keep Archer's original playstyle and just upgrade his overall skills, then go with Succession.
Yeah, so Archer doesn't have Awakening in Succession. This guy's a complete moron. Now we're gonna play it. Now I want to know. Now I want to know what else he's gonna say.
So then for the first one,
we saw Warrior.
Then for the next one, we have the Ranger. And even without a question, he deserves to be placed right in the C tier.
I agree. His penis is the smallest of all the male classes in the game. Versus the Archer, which is objectively better because it's a female class. He's got it right.
This class excels at kiting and maintaining distance from enemies while dealing significant damage. But unfortunately, she's been completely forgotten by developers for many years now. If you enjoy
That's not necessarily wrong. Wait a minute. I'll be honest with you. It's like totally wrong, completely wrong information. But like every once in a while, every dog has a shred of truth.
Dynamic, flashy gameplay, then go for Awakening. But if you prefer maximizing your bow's potential and a more consistent playstyle, then Succession is the way to go. I only recommend to choose this class if you truly don't care about performance, because this game offers better options such as Archer, Sorceress, and much more.
Sork? Okay, alright, I'm gonna correct this as we go. Alright, this is how we're gonna do this. Okay, so Warrior guys, Succession and Awakening. The difference between Suck and Awakening Warrior is pretty simple. Awakening Warrior is much more complex than Succession. It's like a Swiss Army knife. You have skills for everything, but it requires a higher APM, a lot more thought process, and there's more combo oriented. Okay, there's a lot more cancels and stuff, and so the skill ceiling is much higher. It's also much more work in PvE. Okay, it doesn't perform super great in PvE either, but I'd say it's kind of middle of the road. Succession Warrior is kind of the opposite. It's more of like a one-size-fits-all thing. So in PvP, you're going to suffer a little bit because the class is going to feel a little bit more one-dimensional than Awakening, whereas Awakening has one skill for every single scenario. Succession is going to have like 2 or 3 skills with everything packed onto those skills. This means that in PvE, you're going to have a much lower APM grind, and you're going to do a lot more consistently high damage. And so that's usually why people play Succession in PvE over Awakening. In PvP, both are viable, but the difference is that Succession Warrior is going to focus a lot more on the grab and maybe the ground slam, because that's really your only 2 engagement tools. Awakening is going to have a lot more movement options and a lot more like damage combo options as well. So you're going to see a lot more complex like skill ceiling come through for Awakening there. As far as Ranger goes, Succession Ranger is better at low end grind spots because it has stronger AoE and relies a lot less on stamina at those low levels. You're basically just like using Descending Current and all your big AoE skills as you run around and kill all the blood wolves and whatnot. Very, very simple. As you get higher and higher in like gear score, though, Succession becomes harder to play. It's not impossible, and it's not necessarily bad per se in PvE. It's just really hard to play because you are like, you're a fart in the wind. If anything hits you, you're dead, and you don't have as many iframes as you would in Awakening. So it's difficult to play in PvE at high end, and it requires much more APM, in my opinion. At high end, in low end, it's like whatever. In Awakening Ranger is kind of the opposite. It kind of just does not do super well at low end PvE spots because it just doesn't have the AoE to do so. But in high end spots, you actually perform a little bit better. It's a little bit easier to play around because you have more iframes to play with in high end spots. But you can play either or with relatively the same effectiveness. I know that most people like playing Awakening Ranger at the high end spots in the game if you're talking about PvE. And in PvP, in large scale PvP, Succession Ranger wins out. It's not even a question. It's one of the best classes in the game in large scale PvP for getting kills because you're one of the best range classes in the game. Like as far as a range DPS goes, you're absolutely incredible. And Awakening Ranger is terrible at large scale PvP. It's one of the worst classes in the game. You flip that, you look at like something like AOS, you come down to like 3v3 or 1v1s. Awakening Ranger it's flipped. Succession Ranger is complete ass. It's terrible. And then Awakening Ranger is much stronger at that 3v3, 1v1 because it's got a lot more iframes. It's got a grab. It's got a lot more 1v1 potential and small scale outplay. I'd say the skill ceiling overall on Awakening Ranger is also much higher than Succession's. Okay. Did I miss anything? I think we're good. I'm just trying to correct it as we go.
Next up we have Sorceress, and she deserves to be placed in the S tier.
Sorks are gonna be pissed. Okay, hey guys, you need to know something about the Sork community and BDO. These people, first of all, they hate themselves. These are the people that listen to Evanescence and cut themselves in the tub in game, in the Duvin Kroon bats, of course. But these people literally live on the fact that their class is terrible. Okay, their entire cope is that their class is ass. Okay, and so A, it doesn't need to be nerfed. B, they are the best player in the entire world anytime they kill somebody. Okay, this is how it is. All right, and anytime Sork is about to get nerfed, they're the best community in the game at this. Every single other class's community needs to learn from Sork. They go to nerf Sork on the Global Labs. Sorks literally lose their minds, complain, and completely break their mental over the nerfs. All right, they just literally lose their mind. And by the time those nerfs go from Global Labs to lives, it actually turns into a buff. So unbelievably, Sork actually just cannot get nerfed. It does not matter what happens. Sork actually can't get nerfed because no matter what happens, they put it on the Global Labs. The Sork community bitch whines and moans, and then by the time it makes it to live servers, they've changed it in such a way that it becomes a buff for the class every time. Literally every time. It's insane. Either way, these players hate themselves. Not as much as Kunoichi players, but they do hate themselves.
Here. This class is a very powerful spellcaster known for her magic and high mobility, which makes her effective in
Blue giving Cade Games views in 2025. Crazy. I'm correcting it as we go. What are we talking about? I'm correcting it as we go. I'm showing people how bogus and ridiculous this is. Why do you think that people in the first place... You realize before I started reviewing Cade's videos, his videos used to get hundreds of thousands of views for the Black Desert community? And then I started reacting to his videos, and then everyone stopped watching his Black Desert videos, at least. Now we all know. Everybody's aware. Like, it's just... it is what it is. So I try not to watch his videos too often, but every once in a while, I like to remind everybody why this guy is just ass.
PvE and PvP. In PvE, the sorceress excels at dealing massive AoE.
His PoE videos should be illegal. See? Told you. I told you. The PoE community has been watching the shit out of his... But there's nobody in the PoE community, like me, who will react to it, get into the algorithm, and absolutely dumpster him for it. And then that'll keep his videos from hitting algorithm ever again, basically, for Path of Exile. That's all they need to do is Rexiverse or Quinn or somebody needs to react to one of his videos and just dumpster it. And just absolutely dumpster it. And then, sure, he'll get more circulation off the one video, but everything else after that will basically, his algorithm will decline completely. And that's what he's done. That's what I've done effectively for him in BDO. It's just the truth.
AoE damage through her crowd control abilities, while in PvP, her crowd control abilities make her a formidable enemy, capable of locking down enemies and dealing burst damage.
This is generalized bullshit.
If you enjoy a high-impact, visually engaging playstyle with better mobility and AoE control, then go for Awakening. But if you prefer to upgrade her original skills for a more consistent and powerful ranged combat experience, then Succession might be the better choice.
Both iterations of Sork are melee. He's a retard. Okay. So the difference between Suck and Awakening Sork is... I'll be honest with you. There's not very much difference between the two. Okay, it's kind of a preference. Succession Sork relies more on frontal guards overall as a class. And so you end up like shielding frontal damage. You need to understand Sork as a class relies around short range, iframing movement. Okay, so you have very short dashes, but they're all very protected with iframe. Okay, it's in contrast to Dark Knight. Dark Knight's dashes are much longer. Okay, but she can't spam them like Sork can. It would be like Dark Knights are like 2 to 3 times as long as Sorks are, but they have a much longer cooldown than Sork. Sork can just spam its iframe over and over and over again, but it's going to eat up its stamina, and it's like puddle jumping over and over again. So Sork's greatest weakness is pack-to-pack movement in PvE. It's like you've got an inhaler on in PvE, especially at like low-end PvE spots. You're like just trying to get pack to pack to pack. You just never have any stamina. It's very frustrating. Also in PvP, Sork also has a lot of stamina issues. So the best Sorks you see, they're always at like 0 stamina. They're always just barely, they're always at basically no stamina at all the time in PvP. So like the biggest like bottleneck on Sork is going to be basically abusing your iframes in such a way that you're jumping around, but you're not completely out of stamina so that you can move into the next iframe. But you need to make sure that most of your protections are in that movement, because when you come out of that movement, generally speaking, that's when people are going to be able to catch you on Sork. So when you come out of that movement in Succession, you're going to be using frontal guards. This is a general rule. And in Awakening, you're going to come out into super armors, like Grim Reaper's Judgment. Like when you do the big slashy scythe thing. Like that's... so like it's not completely true for the whole class, but on the whole, Succession has more frontal guards and Awakening has more super armors. In NA, generally speaking, you're going to see a lot more Awakening Sorks. In EU, you see a lot of Succession Sorks and a mix between the two. If I'm being honest, I think that the EU Sorks are kind of a step above the NA Sorks. So if you're going to get advice from somebody, try to get it from EU if you can. But NA really doesn't have very many Sorks that play the game anymore that make content. Most of them were super toxic and have left the game long ago, but were great nonetheless. I don't think Massilis makes any content for BDO anymore, aside from maybe standing in town from time to time. But like King of All Sand, again, perfect example. And he doesn't make content either because he got banned on Twitch. Soft Melon, thanks for the prime sub, buddy. Appreciate you. But Sork is a great class in PvE. All right, especially for areas where you have to get in behind the mobs quickly and do a bunch of damage. Sork can basically jump around, let the mobs face her, and then immediately jump behind them and do a lot of damage. And every time the mobs turn around, she has no problem getting behind them again. She's got a lot of short range iframes, like I said, to work with. But like, again, her pack to pack movement, especially at like low end spots or places like Tungrad, it's not going to be as good as something like an Awakening Nova. It's just the truth, right? She's slow. She's slow in that regard, but very strong class in PvP as well. Super, like a menace of PvP. Very good in both specs. Both specs. I watch all your YouTube vids. Thanks, buddy. You're watching one right now. Now you're a part of it. Note might cut.
Next we have Berserker, which we will place in the A tier. This is a similar class to Warrior in the sense that both are melee fighters. However,
the irony that this guy is saying that Berserker is a melee fighter as he showcases Awakening Berserker is literally fucking crazy, bro. It's literally like I don't understand it. Maybe he's talking about Succession, right? You can't even give him the benefit of the doubt. This guy's crazy, bro.
Berserker has more unique mechanics, such as the Berserk mode, which boosts their offensive capabilities. This class is popular among players who enjoy a tanky, aggressive playstyle, making them a dominant force, especially in PvE. If you prefer,
it's a class for ugly people. Okay? People who are ugly or that want to play ugly characters, play this class. It's the only class in the game like this.
For a dynamic, area-focused playstyle with the potential for high burst damage, then go for Awakening. But if you like a consistent and powerful approach without changing much of the core mechanics, then Succession might be a more valuable option.
No, all of that was wrong. Succession Berserker is basically you're going to have the fantasy of turning into like a Wolverine. You're literally galloping around on all fours, mauling people to death in PvE or PvP. It's a lot of fun to play. I recommend checking out Choice if you want to see that. But you're strictly a melee character in that regard. You're going to use your axes. Really solid in PvE, one of the lowest APM classes in the game. I would say as far as damage goes, yeah, it's on the lower side in PvE, but again, you're trading that off for never having to do anything on. You could just press the button and then just like sit there and wait for like 30 seconds. It's a piece of cake. It's a joke in PvE. It really is. It's not that bad. Really low APM in PvE. But in PvP, a really solid class. 1v1, top tier. 3v3, top tier. Large scale PvP, top tier class for Succession. You really cannot go wrong. I know Choice likes to, like, he likes to, like, tone it back. He's like, oh, it's not that good. No, it really is that good. It's one of the best large scale classes in the game. In 3v3, it's a phenomenal class. A lot of sustain overall. Good 100%. Great 200%. Now you got everything you need. You got grabs coming out of your booty hole. Plenty of stuff. Awakening is a little bit different. You're definitely a lot less protected. Also, Succession is super protected. You're basically perma protected the entire time. If you ever get CC'd as a Succession Berserker, it's because you're bad. In Awakening, Berserker is a little bit different. Awakening relies on a lot more frontal guards. In your range, you have like an arm cannon on, like your Mega Man, and you shoot people from range. And you kind of soften them up, kind of like Awakening Dark Knight is. You soften them up from range, and then you run in and you blow them up as quickly as you can. You still have all your grabs available to you. You still have that close range threat, but you are a lot less protected in Awakening. But it does, again, it grants you that range. So it's kind of up to you. Awakening Zerker is going to be a lot more APM than Succession is, though. I love a Necromancer class. People have been asking for that for a while. Yeah, like a summoner kind of deals. I tried to make a Zerker cute. It was impossible. I re-rolled. Yeah, I mean, that's why it's not a very popular class in Korea, is because it's almost nobody plays Berserker in Korea because it's just an ugly class. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to play ugly characters. Okay, you guys should have learned this from Concord. It's the truth.
Next we have the Tamer, and he's also in the A tier. This is...
I knew it. I'm not going to say it. I knew it.
Is a unique melee fighter who wields a short sword and summons a custom companion. This synergy gives him a dynamic playstyle by combining fast-paced melee attacks with...
This is exactly the kind of outfit that I would expect a male class to be wearing in 2025. I'm just saying.
powerful support skills from his four-legged friend. Tamer also excels in mobility, using evasive maneuvers and quick strikes to outmaneuver his enemies. Their abilities also incorporate elemental magic, providing crowd control and burst damage options. If you enjoy a versatile and high mobility movement with new skills, then go for Awakening. However, if you prefer a stronger focus on sustained melee damage and his original mechanics, then Succession is the better choice.
Okay, so Tamer's a she, her, for starters. I also want to say that my choose your class guides are always going to be the best for this, guys. That's why I make the choose your class guide series, is so that people like this never hit algorithm again for the Black Desert category. My choose your class guides just dominate this. And so it's like a whole playlist. Yeah, here, this. Okay. I made one for Deadeye. Yeah, it came out like last week or whatever. This one was the for he got to delete that. Yeah. I'll delete that video real quick, but like because he put it out twice on accident. But there's one for every single class in the game. Little 2-3 minute video. No big deal. And it'll explain every class, Awakening in succession, and exactly what you need to know on every single one of these. Tamer, so if you want like the TLDR is what I'm giving you in this video. If you want the more expanded view about what class you should be playing in BDO, I definitely look at my choose your class guides. Those are the way to go. Tamer is Awakening in succession, not going to have too much difference. You're talking about a bow staff versus Awakening is a little bit worse in PvE overall. It used to be a little bit worse in PvE overall. Nowadays, I'd say it's roughly equivalent in PvE to Succession. The difference is Succession has slightly more AoE and requires a lot less APM. Awakening has a lot more single target damage, and some people really like Awakening Tamer in PvE. I think it's ass, but you know, I don't know. No, I'm standing firm on this. That class is just not super great in PvE when you compare it to the Succession counterpart. It's just less APM overall for Succession, and it's better AoE overall. The big thing that you like about Tamer is that both specs allow you to interact with Hyling or Hookling, which is your pet, in a very unique way. No other class in the game can do that. Your pet is like you can ride it around, you can pet it, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. Other pets in the game, like Gore with Witch, you can't interact with it at all, but Tamer's the only class in the game where you can really interact with an RP with your pet on like a meaningful level, and that's why people like playing Tamer. She's also the best 1v1 class in the game. I don't really care what any tier list says. She's the best 1v1 class in the game. It really does not matter. I'd say Awakening is slightly better than Succession in PvP and 1v1 formats. In large-scale PvP, she's really only good at cannoning, but aside from that, she's pretty much ass in large-scale PvP.
Then for the first B-tier class, we have Musa. He is a very fast and agile martial artist that specializes...
I love it. All the Musas are like, yes, B-tier,
just
yes,
resubscribed
B.
for 2 months. RIP no Prime, but when you mentioned about Sork, PLS remember what happened with DK after the video lol, let's avoid that with Sork.
Oh, true. True. Welcome back for 2 months, man. Really appreciate you. Thank you, man.
And high mobility and...
Only B? No, see, the good Musa players in the chat. Okay, guys, when you see your class in a low tier, on a tier list, you know it's not going to get nerfed. In fact, if it's low enough, it's going to get buffed. All right, so any smart player watching a tier list is like, yep, B tier. Actual dog shit. Honestly, it should be in the C tier for crap. You know what? D for dog shit. Actual just total ass, okay? That's why the Sorks are really upset right now. The Sorks are upset that they got put in the A tier because that's where their class actually belongs. No, we're not exceptional at all. Put us back down there.
And quick combos. He also can rapidly close gaps between enemies and deliver a barrage of attacks, making him very effective at kiting and evading incoming damage. His skills incorporate a unique mechanic such as the flow, which even further upgrades his already insane movement and damage. So if you enjoy dynamic, flashy combat with new abilities, then go with Awakening. But if you...
Okay, so if you really like anime and you jack off to hentai regularly instead of like normal porn, Musa is great for you, but I'd also look at Meiwa. That being said, Musa is basically you just run around with a giant flaming sword and you just flame the shit out of everything, including other players. In chat PvP, as Musas generally tend to be the most chat PvP heavy class in the game as well. Like these people are just angry little men with small penises. Like everybody knows it. Okay, they just run around. You don't really have a grab in PvP. Very powerful class. You have a really strong AoE in Awakening. In Succession, you have much less AoE, but much more focused, targeted damage. Okay, so like okay, AoE and Awakening. AoE in Succession. Okay, this is doing way more damage, but this is hitting way more people. Does that make sense? So Succession has way less AoE, but more targeted damage. Both of them are great in PvE. Both are good in PvP, but Succession Musa is not really played in PvP in almost any iteration. You don't really see it very much. In AOS, you do see a little bit of it, for sure. But Awakening is usually the preferred class in PvP overall, mainly just because you just have a bunch of gear on and just go up and AoE people and kill them. It's an extremely protected class. You're permanently super armored the entire time you're playing this class. You don't really need to worry about it ever. And the only reason anyone is ever going to see you is because you're an idiot. It's usually how that works. You only ever have to take fights that you want to take, though, because you can run away forever if you want to. You can just dash away forever, and no one can ever catch you for the most part, unless it's a Nova, in which case you're just taking those L's. But aside from that, you're good to go. Okay, so it's a fun class.
Prefer maximizing the dual sword mechanics and consistent damage.
Thanks, Master. Appreciate you.
Then Succession might be the better option.
Okay, this is the other weeb class if you want to play the female version of your anime fantasy.
Then for the next A tier...
Just to be clear, Meiwa does have the largest boob slider in the game. Corsairs is also on point.
We have...
Not even joking.
Meiwa. She's another quick and agile fighter. However, she's more known for her renowned speed, chaining rapid combos and dodging enemy attacks. Her skills include powerful...
Yeah, so it's Musa, but it's the female. And all of her shit is icy and blue, which makes her better. Okay. Like, so Musa is all fire in Awakening. Meiwa is all ice in Awakening. Awakening Meiwa has a lot less AoE and relies a lot more on frontal guards than Musa does. So Awakening Musa is like a lot of super armors. Like I said, permanently super armored class. You run around, you have big fire AoEs, whatever. Awakening Meiwa is perma frontal guard for the most part. You do have some super armors, but you're pretty much you're a pretty frontal guard heavy class, and you have a lot less AoE than Musa does. However, you have much more stronger targeted single target damage than the Musa does. Okay, so Meiwa's a super fun class, and I would say that Succession Meiwa plays basically just like Awakening. You just have a smaller penis. Also, your skills are red.
Full AoE attacks and crowd control options, allowing her to manage multiple enemies at once.
I'm just kidding. Succession Meiwa has much more super armors. Succession Meiwa is very super armor heavy, and you can't really get CC'd almost at all. You typically are dying from standing on Succession Meiwa as a general rule, and she's like, it's a red, flashy, like, edgy sword thing. Like decapitation and all this crazy stuff. So if you like that short sword gameplay, you're going to like that in Succession Meiwa. And again, it's super armors instead of frontals.
If you enjoy versatile, high-impact combat with new skills, then go for...
Are any classes for people with large cocks? I feel like this vibe is a based metric here. Yeah, you're looking for Warrior or Berserker. Also, sometimes Archer. Sometimes.
Awakening. But on the other hand, if you prefer consistent melee damage and maintaining her original style, then Succession might be the better choice. Next,
not Sage. No, Sage is already the main character and is compensating for other reasons. His penis is tiny, I've seen it.
We have Valkyrie, which we will place right in the B tier.
Also, Norelia would never play a class with such a large penis.
This is a hybrid warrior that excels in strong defensive and supportive capabilities. Valkyries are great at both tanking and dealing damage, which makes her versatile in combat. She also possesses a wide range of skills that focuses on crowd control, healing, and buffing allies. As far as your Awakening choice goes, if you enjoy high burst, high impact gameplay with new skills, then go with Awakening. However, if you want a more basic playstyle which is tanky and has her original mechanics, then Succession might be the better option.
That was the most generic and shitty explanation for Valkyrie I think I've ever heard. So Valkyrie, Awakening Valkyrie, guys, is a paladin. Okay, you're just straight up, you're a paladin. Okay, you have all of the support mechanics of a paladin. You've got protected area, you've got heals, you've got defensive buffs, you got all kinds of shit. Resistance, but all kinds of everything you can think of. You got vacuums, you have the strongest AoE ult in the game. Overall, it's one of the strongest, it's probably the best large-scale PvP class in the game when played at a high level, but it's also extremely difficult to play at a high level. Awakening Valkyrie is probably the hardest class in the entire game to position and play correctly for large-scale PvP. In PvE, it's much easier to play in PvE overall. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what about Ninja? No, in large-scale PvP, Ninja's a joke. Shut up. In large scale PvP, again, Awakening Valkyrie definitely the hardest. In PvE, Ninja and Kuno are definitely the two hardest classes in the game. Probably Ninja the hardest class in the game, just because the APM is just so high. That being said, back on the Valkyrie subject, Awakening Valkyrie, higher APM in PvE, but really, really solid. Can't go wrong. Just difficult. Just difficult, just from an APM standpoint. Succession really only struggles with movement. Succession does not have the AoE, sacrifices a lot of like some of the support capabilities that Awakening has. You still have support capabilities in Succession, and it's stronger at like 3v3. Well, it's strong in 3v3, but not as strong as Awakening can be. But anywho, Succession's better at 1v1 PvP. In general, so you have a lot more you're a lot tankier, you have a lot more defensive stats overall in Succession. You sacrifice AoE for this, you sacrifice some of your support capabilities for this, but it is a lot easier to play. You also sacrifice a decent amount of your movement overall. They've made it a little bit easier and less clunky in the last few patches, but yeah, it's still a really clunky class, and you don't see very many Succession Valkyries because the movement is just ass.
Then for the next one, we have Kunoichi.
Whoa, Kuno's better than Ranger. You. For those of you that don't know, Kuno is actually low-key one of the hottest classes in the game. You wouldn't know it unless you try to play one, but...
Which we will place right in the B tier. She's a stealthy and agile assassin that uses daggers to deliver quick and lethal attacks. Kunoichi excels in hit-and-run tactics, allowing her to evade attacks while dealing significant burst damage. Her skills have shadow manipulation, which enables her to blend into her surroundings and confuse enemies. If you prefer more flashy
it's camouflage. She just goes stealth.
Combat experience with new skills and high CC, then go for Awakening. However, if you want to focus on sustained damage and the classic playstyle, then Succession might be the better choice.
No. Sustained damage and Succession do not go hand in hand. That is mental illness. Okay, so Kuno is the definition of a flanking assassin class, guys. It's tough to find a class with higher single target burst damage than a Succession Kunoichi. Okay, Awakening Kuno also has strong single target burst, but not quite as strong as Succession in my opinion. I would say that Succession, the difference between Suck and Awakening is twofold. One, the AoE in Awakening is stronger, and two, actually I guess three in this case, but one, the AoE in Awakening is stronger, but it sacrifices overall damage. Okay, so Succession is going to have stronger like single target damage over a short period of time, but it's going to be a smaller AoE. The trade-off for Succession is that it just can't move around as consistently. Awakening is much stronger in like extended skirmishes because you have much less stamina issues. You have many more movement options on Awakening Kuno, and you're really not going to struggle as much with stamina. On Succession Kuno, your big limiting factor, and I'm talking more so than Sork and pretty much any other class in the game, is like you go in, you do your burst, and if it doesn't work, you have to get out. You just have to wait because you're waiting for your stamina bar to come back. Like you're really going to struggle with stamina, but again, you have some of the best single target bursts in the game, but it's like a roguelike playstyle in both versions. Actually a pretty solid class in PvE, despite the fact that Kuno mains love to complain about how bad their PvE is. I actually think that Kuno's actually pretty good in PvE. I wouldn't consider it necessarily above average or anything, but it's definitely at least middle of the road to above average at the major spots in the game, in my opinion.
Twice.
In both specs.
Then next we have my...
Awakening weapon is cooler. It's true. The Awakening weapon is cooler.
all-time favorite class, the Ninja, and we will place him right
Yeah, so this is this guy's all-time favorite class because he got to level 7 in his other BDO videos. I don't know if we can actually show that. Here, the only amount of BDO this guy's ever played.
This high. So what's gonna
Right here. This is it. You guys realize this is where you spawn in for the king game, basically. This is right by Velia.
SK this year, and welcome back.
Okay, this guy got to like level 17. All right, he's terrible.
in the S tier. As you can guess from his name,
I'm curious where Deadeye is gonna be.
he is a stealthy and agile fighter that specializes in fast-paced melee combat with a unique playstyle which is focused on evasion and surprise attacks.
It's the exact same as Kunoichi, it's just that you have no boobs. It's objectively worse.
Ninja excels at hit-and-run tactics, utilizing his speed to engage and disengage from enemies very quickly. This class appeals to players who enjoy skill-intensive gameplay, emphasizing precision, strategy, and rapid movements in combat. If you enjoy versatile, high-impact gameplay with new skills, then go for Awakening. But if you prefer to enhance the classic mechanics for sustained damage, then go with Succession.
Wait, didn't he just say that? Wait.
However, if you want to focus on sustained damage and the classic playstyle, then Succession might be the better choice. And has her original mechanics, then Succession might be the better option. Skills, then go for Awakening. But on the other hand, if you prefer consistent melee damage and maintaining her original style, then Succession might be the better choice. Go with Awakening, but if you prefer maximizing the dual sword mechanics and consistent damage, then Succession might be the better option.
Wait!
And go for Awakening. However, if you prefer a stronger focus on sustained melee damage and his
What the?
Awakening. But if you like a consistent and powerful approach without changing much of the core mechanics, then Succession might be.
God, bro, this guy is relentless, dude. I just don't get it. All right, so like real talk though, Ninja highest APM in the game. All right, highest APM in the game, almost certainly one of the most difficult classes to play, like pick up and play. One of the more difficult classes in the game to master for sure, especially in the Awakening format. Most people play Succession. The way that Armin explained this to me when I made my Choose Your Class guides, so that I could very clearly distinguish between the two. Succession and Awakening Ninja are different for the exact same reasons that I explained for Kuno. Suck Ninja is the traditional roguelike playstyle where you're gonna wait in stealth for your opponent, and then you're basically just going to shit out damage extremely quickly, and then you're gonna disengage. Short-term bursty engagements from stealth or from a position that your opponent doesn't see you coming. Awakening Ninja is much stronger at sustained engagements over a long period of time and has many more, has less stamina issues, more engage options, but less burst damage overall than its Succession counterpart. Succession is considered stronger for PvE in current meta. But extremely difficult class. If you love watching anime, but you didn't really feel like Musa was necessarily your type, then you could probably goon very effectively to Kunoichi or Ninja. It would be your choice. So again, all the weebs play exactly the same four classes: Meiwa, Musa, Ninja, or Kuno. Those four. Generally speaking, it's Meiwa, Musa, or Ninja. Most of the people that play Kuno are just incredibly based people that hate themselves.
Classic mechanics for sustained damage, then go with Succession. Then for the next two classes we have Wizard and Witch, and we will place them both in the A tier. I placed these two classes together because they're extremely similar to each other. Both of these classes are...
Yeah, again, if you're a Yasuo main in League of Legends, you're gonna play Ninja.
powerful spellcasters. Wizard
Musa.
excels in dealing massive AoE damage and controlling the battlefield, while Witch is similar in many ways but focuses more on support and healing abilities, alongside her powerful element.
They have literally exactly the same support and healing abilities. The only difference between Awakening and Succession Witch is the fact that when you class buff, your class buff is literally identical, by the way. Literally identical between the two classes. The difference is in Awakening Witch, when you class buff, all of your allies around you get the defensive buffs from your class buff, so the evasion buff and the DP buff and whatnot. I think it's just the evasion buff. And then when you class buff on Awakening Wizard, they get the offensive buffs, so the AP. That's the only difference.
Mental spell.
The big difference in playstyle is that wizards are tops and witches are bottoms. Yes, I do mean in the bedroom, but also in combat, which is a very reactive play style. She lets things happen to her because she has very unreactive, or she has no proactive movement skills other than teleport, and she really wants to use that reactively overall. It's just how it works. She has a lot more effective range, and so she sits there, she throws range at her opponents. She's extremely effective at that. Softens them up, and then when they come to her, she's able to use what small amount of movement she has to react and punish them for making mistakes. Awakening Wizard, on the other hand, can be much more aggressive with his Hellfire and different fire skills that he has slightly more movement than Awakening Witch does, and just really strong engagement tools. He also has a grab and can be much more effective as a much more aggressive play style. So if you're more aggressive, you definitely want to play Awakening Wizard. He's much more super armor focused, so he can dive in and get his damage down. Awakening Witch is much more frontal guard focused. It makes sense that you play a witch. Well, I want to play I want to play opposites. I want to play opposites. Okay, so if you're a top, you want to play a bottom, right? That's how it works. That's how it works. All right, got to fantasize about something.
Both of these
realistically, I'm a switch. Okay, as the kids call it, a switch hitter. Let's be honest. If I'm queuing up for a role in the bedroom, I'm queuing up for Phil. All right. If this is League of Legends, I'm queuing up as the Phil role. Okay. It's not. Sometimes you're queuing up as top. Sometimes you're queuing up as bottom. Sometimes you're queuing up for that jungle role. You know what I'm saying?
Classes offer a rich mage experience. It just depends on what you value more, high damage or more support. If you enjoy high damage burst with new skills, then go for Awakening.
You a Teemo main? No, I play Evelynn and Briar.
However, if you prefer to focus on upgrading your original abilities for consistent damage, then Succession might be the better choice. Then for the next A-tier class, we have Striker. This is a powerful melee fighter who excels in close-quarter combat by delivering fast and hard-hitting attacks. His skills focus is on mobility and crowd control, allowing them to quickly engage and disengage from battles. Strikers have unique mechanics that allow them to channel energy for enhanced attacks. If you enjoy a versatile, high-impact combat experience with new weapon, then go for Awakening. But if you prefer to enhance the original Gauntlet mechanics for sustained damage, then Succession might be for you.
Did he even put it on the tier list? Where's the tier list?
Then for the next...
Okay, where's Striker? Oh, he put it in the H. No, guys, this is the best class in the game at basically everything. This is the main character. This is, if Sage didn't exist, this would be the main character for video. I'm not really sure how Striker has gotten into the position it was in. When it came out, it was Omega busted, and they buffed it, and it got even more busted. For those of you that remember, that was around the time that Mystic released as well. Mystic was Omega busted as well, and then they buffed them both together, and they were like unstoppable forces. And we saw the genocide of my people, the Dark Knights, and the other magic users from the server just literally obliterated all of us. And it's been a pretty brutal scene ever since then. I would say that they nerfed it into like a reasonable playable state for a long time, and it sat kind of in dormancy for a long time. But then I'd say over the last year or so, they keep buffing Striker, particularly Awakening Striker, repeatedly. For no reason. They just keep buffing it. I think that they're like listening to Divios or something, because again, when Divios and Choice went to go do their meeting with Pluribus, if you guys remember, Divios said he only really talked to them about Striker balance, but aside from that, nothing else. And then since then, we've only really ever seen just Striker buffs and Striker quality of life changes and Striker buffs and Striker buffs. And I think everyone in the PvP community pretty unanimously agrees that Awakening Striker is the best class in the game in PvP at pretty much everything. It literally just doesn't do anything poorly. When I say it's permanently super armored, guys, I mean when you class buff on Awakening Striker, you're super armored while you're just holding shift running around. Okay, like it is pathetic how brain dead, moronically easy the class is, and like how much bullshit you can actually get away with. I mean, it's dog shit, dumpster easy. And it is the best class in the game. You just can't go wrong. It's really simple to pick up and play. What are you going to do against a witch? You ask any striker, what are you going to do against a witch? I'm going to grab her. I'm going to drop my leg on her. Well, what are you going to do against Dark Knight? I'm gonna grab her. I'm gonna drop my leg on her. Well, what are you gonna do against a ninja? I'm gonna grab him, and I'm gonna drop my leg. What about Ranger? I'm gonna grab, and then I'm gonna drop my leg. Every single matchup is the exact same thing. They are doing the exact same thing in every single matchup. Nobody puts the W in grab like a striker. Okay, it's just the truth. They're gonna grab you and then they're gonna drop their leg on you, and that is every single matchup in the entire game. Doesn't matter. There is no other dynamic to the class. It is one-dimensional. They have one play and it works every single time because you can't avoid it. It's kind of miserable. In PvE, it is also among one of the best classes in the game as well. Again, this is the best class in Black Desert Online right now. And again, we just got buffs for this class on this most recent patch. I want to remind everybody that the developers are so mentally handicapped that they actually continually buff Awakening Striker when the Succession counterpart is actually in so much shambles. People don't even, when we talk about Striker colloquially, we only talk about Awakening Striker. Succession Striker is that far forgotten from Striker, is that Awakening is just that strong. Like, you don't even look at Succession. If you're a new player, it's not even worth doing. You just play Awakening and everything. It doesn't matter. For every single aspect of the game, it is better at everything than every other class in the game. Succession actually has faults, and so it is subjectively worse. Succession Mystic is also really, really bad as well. And again, receives absolutely no love. I have no idea why. I really have no idea.
Next A-tier class, we have Striker.
What's the stat of Awakening Hash at the moment? It's really good at basically everything except for large-scale PvP.
This is a powerful melee fighter who excels in close-quarter combat by delivering fast and hard-hitting attacks.
I can't emphasize, guys, when I say it's not good at large-scale PvP, I mean, like, so it's pretty much good at everything because there is no large-scale PvP in BDO.
His skill
doesn't exist anymore. They've basically removed it from the game.
His focus is on mobility and crowd control, allowing them to quickly engage and disengage from battles. Strikers have unique mechanics that allow them to channel energy for enhanced attacks. If you enjoy a versatile, high-impact combat experience with new weapon, then go for Awakening. But if you prefer to enhance the original Gauntlet mechanics for sustained damage, then
tournament tomorrow starts at 7 p.m. CET or 12 p.m. CST.
Session might be for you.
The broadcast will start 30 minutes prior to that.
Next we have Mystic, which deserves to be placed in the B tier. This is an
A tier class. Awakening Mystic's A tier. Succession Mystic's F tier and everything.
Another versatile melee fighter known for her fluid.
Incredibly enough, leg shot. Incredibly enough, Awakening Mystic is probably going to pass Succession Mystic and even in PvP sin, because they just keep buffing Awakening Mystic, which Awakening Mystic is great and everything. I love it. Look, I love Mystic as a class. Succession Mystic is just so ass. There's literally no reason to play it.
With combat style and strong grappling techniques, her skills allow you to engage multiple enemies while maintaining mobility. With a focus on agility, strong combos, and unique mechanics, the Mystic offers a fun and engaging...
Holy thigh pause. I mean, you guys need to understand that Striker is a class that revolves around arms, punching, and kicking. I mean, just punching, basically. Upper body. And that's why we call Strikers knuckle draggers in BDO. And that would be because you can literally make the Striker's arms long enough that when he runs, he literally looks like a monkey galloping on all fours. Okay, it's just the truth. Mystic, on the other hand, is made for men of culture who love the lower body physique of the woman, if you catch my drift. If you're a leg man, if you will, you are a Mystic enjoyer. Okay, because she's very much a kick-oriented class.
Gameplay.
Yeah, if you're a thigh enjoyer, everything.
Experience for veteran players. If you enjoy AoE skills with even faster mobility, then go with Awakening. However, if getting maximum damage and a bit more easier gameplay sounds good to you, then Succession is definitely for you.
Not really, no.
Next we have Lan.
Awakening Mystic does have better AoE, ass damage in PvP. Ass damage, but much more like really strong CC. You control a water dragon, which is really cool. Really good in PvE. Can't go wrong with it. Succession Mystic, on the other hand, really small amounts of AoE, really strong single target damage, or it's supposed to have strong single target damage, but it just keeps getting worse over time. It's just not, I don't know. It's just, they just keep buffing the other classes. It is what it is. And it's really not good at PvE at all. I'd never recommend Suck Mystic for PvE. And that's someone who's played Suck Mystic in PvE for hundreds of hours.
And we will place her right in the S tier. She's an agile...
Lan is another thigh enjoyer, leg enjoyer kind of class. This is the classic, I want to date an oriental woman that has nice legs. That is Lan enjoyers. And I want to be clear that many people consider Lan the hottest class in the game. She has the least cool skill effects in the game in Succession. So people that play Succession Lan... It's low APM in PvE. It's probably the lowest APM class in the game for PvE. It's like 4 to 6 button class. Really easy. I played it for a long time. Really simple. Good basically everywhere. But her skill effects are terrible. So if you really just like staring at your character and gooning to how hot she is, but you really don't care about how cool your skill effects are, you play Succession. If you really want to play a super hot girl with really cool skill effects and way cooler weapons, then you play Awakening, but it's going to be more work.
Fighter whose unique combat mechanics excel in both mobility and crowd control, utilizing her skills to perform fast, sweeping attacks that can hit multiple enemies at a single time. If you like more flashy and smooth gameplay, then she's definitely for you. If you want even more AoE and high burst, then go with Awakening. However, if you prefer a more straightforward approach with maximizing your DPS, then go with Succession. Next we have Archer, which we will place right in the A tier. This class is the much better version of Ranger because of high AoE damage and crowd control. His playstyle emphasizes mobility, allowing him to reposition quickly during battles and evade enemy attacks. If you don't like bow and want to...
The fact that he said that Archer is just better Ranger is perfect.
Next we have Archer, which we will place right in the A tier. This class is the much better version of Ranger.
It's true. I think the boob slider on Archer is actually bigger than Ranger's. Crazily enough. You can almost get more loot outfits on your Archer. You know what I mean?
Then for one...
If this guy shit talks my Dark Knight, I'm gonna be pissed.
One of the last A tier classes we have the Dark Knight. He's a powerful melee fighter with...
First word. First word. God damn it, bro. My Dark Knight does not have a penis. Okay? I have not been gooning it to this character for the last 7 years that has a penis. Okay? It's not a thing. Look, normally I'm not like a pronoun police person, but...
They focus on magic and fast attacks. He also excels in dealing high burst damage and crowd control by using melee attacks and ranged spells. This is for sure the coolest looking character, which not only is visually striking, but also can dish out serious amount of damage. Both Awakenings are pretty similar, so no matter what you choose, you can't go wrong.
For 2 months.
Honestly, not completely wrong with this. Alshred, welcome back for 2 months, man. Appreciate you. Thanks so much, man. So Dark Knight, you have absolutely no utility. You're one of the squishiest classes in the game, but you also pump out some of the highest damage as quick in the fastest amount of time possible. So like you have crazy high burst. Awakening plays as like a mid-range assassin. Succession is definitely more of a melee assassin. but they're both assassin style classes. If you want to play a super hot elf chick who also has some of the coolest effects in the game, you play Dark Knight. Okay, so if you're looking for something that just has cool effects and your character is like super hot, you just play Dark Knight. It's a recipe for success. You can't go wrong.
Serious amount of damage. Both awakenings are pretty similar, so no matter what you choose, you can.
Like there's a reason that there's Dark Knight statues, but there's no statues for any other class in the game. Okay, they know their audience. All right, did you guys see the load screen right now? The load screen for BDO is like crazy.
And go wrong. Then for
terrorists play this class.
We never know how do those elves grow their population when they are all female.
Oh, we know. Okay. They enslaved. Okay. All right. So in the lore, I'm not joking. They enslaved only men in Ode Alita. Okay. The men went willingly. Respectfully, we know where the children came from.
Some_thing321 just resubscribed for 27 months. Hey girl, hey.
Something321. Hey girl, hey. How you doing? Welcome back for 27 months. I appreciate you. Holy moly. Over 2 years.
Subscribed for 3 months.
They enslaved no one. The men went with consent. Oh, they're still slaves. They insist on being called that. Sex slave lore and BDO? Yeah, well, look. They didn't explicitly say that they're sex slaves, but they are literally wearing collars and call their Dark Knights mistresses. Okay, so you know it, I know it, we all know it. Okay, we all know what's going on here. Okay, it is what it is. All right, they went willingly. Would you not go willingly too? I never said anything about me. I said that my favorite character in League of Legends is Evelynn. That right there should have told you what you needed to know. Okay,
Next A-tier class, we have Shy. She's a very unique support character which
so if you have trouble getting on airplanes because you're a flight risk, you play this class.
excels in providing buffs and healing to allies, while also using her musical talents to control the battlefield. She has a distinct abilities to switch.
Yeah, so this class is some PvE, like child freak class that people like to RP with, and like, oh, she's so cute, and she's like a life skilling class. You really don't want to play this class if you're interested in PvP or having fun in solo PvE. She's ass in solo PvE too. This class and everyone that plays it.
Between a combat focused and a support role.
Also, it is a required class for large scale PvP, and pretty much every single aspect of PvP is a required class because her buffs are just that good. The reason everybody hates Shy, and I mean like memes aside, the reason that people hate this class is because she's absolutely 100% required for group content of any kind in this game. Whether it be like the guild, like boss splits, PvE content like Olin's, or any PvP content at all, she's 100% required. She breaks the entire game for PvP. If you do not have a Shy, you're objectively going to be... It gives you 100 gear score in buffs. At least 100 gear score in overall buffs over your opponents in any aspect of the game. It's just absolutely the dumbest class in the entire world, and everybody hates them for it. Also, we're trying to relegate them all to console. Big W for Cade Games right there. Just saying. He's showcasing the Xbox One Shy trailer. W. We would like to deport all of these Shies, to use a word that the mainstream media seems to like lately. We'd love to deport these people. We'd love to get together a band of players. We could call them ICE.
Making her versatile in various scenarios. Shy skills include powerful AoE buffs and crowd control abilities that give her great DPS and supportive capabilities. Again,
she does not have great DPS. She has the lowest DPS in the entire game.
And similar to the previous classes, both
in PvP.
Both awakenings are great and will be amazing options for making the best.
She does not have 2 awakenings. She only has 1 spec that the class can play, and that's her talent tree.
DPS/support setup.
There is no succession. Okay, so Guardian is the class that you play if you really want to get stepped on, or you have some weird fantasy where women like to just dominate you all the time.
Next we have Guardian,
These people.
who I will place right in the S tier. She is equipped with the powerful crowd control abilities, which allows her to engage multiple enemies effectively. Her skills emphasize a blend of offense and tanking, making her
Guardian has a larger penis than Archer does.
effective in both PvE and PvP. If you don't want to keep smashing your keyboard and use just an easy and powerful class with high DPS and survivability, then she's the one for you. Next up we have Hashashin, which we will place right
This guy can't even spell the classes right, man.
Next up we have Hashashin, which we will place right in the B tier. This guy excels in both melee damage and mobility, allowing him to dash in and out of...
Guardian was short on the screen time. Succession and Awakening Guardian are basically the same class, guys. It's really low APM class, really easy to pick up and play, low skill ceiling, really fun to play though. Basically just like the Sejuani of this game, if you're a League of Legends enjoyer coming to BDO. She's really, really fun. Like, I've played her for a long time too, but she's very manly, very man heavy woman, if you will, like Brienne of Tarth situation. Really fun though, really solid in PvE, really good in PvP too.
Combat seamlessly. His skills have unique mechanics.
Hash is one of the most popular classes in the game worldwide, by the way, according to the recent BDO infographics.
Such as the ability to manipulate sand for crowd control, and
this is if you really love Prince of Persia and the Prince of Persia fantasy. I will say that Hash has some of the cleanest and most fun movement in the entire game. Looks super cool. You're a dominatrix of the sand, and I say that because mainly femboys play this class. If you're an anime weeb person, but you're not like super hard in on it, like the Meiwa Musa ninja enjoyers, and Hash maybe will appeal to you.
and evasive
Mainly femboys, though, play this class.
maneuvers. If you want versatile gameplay with high AoE gameplay, then go with Awakening. However, if you want to upgrade your skills to more single target oriented with faster movement, then choose Succession.
Difference between Suck and Awakening Hash is Awakening Hash has stronger 1v1 in a lot of cases, unless Suck Hash, on some patches, Suck Hash has really high damage. And Suck Hash does have really strong damage, really solid initiate tools as well. But Awakening Hash overall has stronger AoE, which means he's going to get slows and stuff down a little bit more consistently. Just stronger AoE, little lower APM overall, but both of them have pretty high APM, and both of them are trying to fight to be the worst class in the game in PvP, in large scale PvP. Large scale PvP, Hash is F tier. F is in complete failure. Terrible class. Horrendously bad. Contributes nothing. Whenever you see a class like, and it's funny because you see Hashes like, oh, I can top frag on my Hash. Yeah, in T1 Node Wars against people that have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Or if you completely disregard everything the shot caller tells you, sure. But large scale PvP is about working together as a group, playing for objectives, and trying to kill the enemy base. He does none of those things very, very well at all. He's terrible at everything. The only thing he can do is pick people off on the fringes of the fight, and other classes do that better than he does every time.
Then for the next A tier class, we have Nova. She's very...
Nova's an S tier class in Awakening in every single sense of the word. Awakening Nova is one of the best classes in the game in PvE. It's one of the best classes in the game in every single format of PvP. It does not matter. It is, again, a lot like Awakening Striker. It is incredibly good. Like, it is literally one of the best classes in the game overall. You just can't go wrong with that class. Succession Nova is the exact polar opposite. It belongs in the F tier in every single format of the game, whether it be PvE, or even ERPing. None of her outfits are loot enough to ERP with. It's terrible. PvE is just terrible. She got some big buffs on this patch, but in PvP they even removed the one thing that Succession Nova was actually like fun to do with, which was the wall. Awakening can do the wall too, but Succession's more convenient to get the wall down, and they took that away from her too. So she's basically completely useless in all formats of PvP. The only reason that she's reasonable in AOS is that she just can't be CC'd. Like AOS, she's kind of a menace because, like, again, she can't be CC'd, but also other classes are going to outperform her.
Similar to Guardian in her playstyle.
She's just ass, bro.
And performance. However, she's focused even more on defense and tanking. So while she excels both in offense and defense, the lack of skill variety will be one downside that you'll notice.
Yeah, Succession Nova players are some of the worst players in the entire game. If you're terrible at the game, you play Succession Nova. Okay, because you can just stand in frontal guarded super armor and let your pet CC them for you. Like, that's literally the entire gameplay of the class. What are some examples of this? Ace Alpha. Perfect. Ace Alpha plays Succession Nova and can climb with it in AOS. There it is. The defense rests.
This for sure. Nova is great for both PvE and PvP, as she is very basic.
How the heck am I supposed to enhance Tuvala accessories? I have to be lucky and get no fails all the way to pen? Yep. That's how accessories work. They explode when they die, until you get Charizard. And I want to be clear, you shouldn't have to, you should look at my gear guide. You shouldn't have to do too much accessory enhancing for Tuvala. And I want to be clear that you can get so many base accessories that it's really not very hard. You should be able to get there pretty much no problem. Should be pretty easy. Should be pretty easy. I think that you get one guaranteed pen, and you just do the necklace, right? And then the belt and stuff aren't too hard.
Basic and easy to play. As for your...
This game is not easy. This game... Alright. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Awakening choice, I recommend to go with Awakening if you...
You're not wrong. That's why the gear guide video that I have is over an hour and a half long.
Want more AoE and crowd control. But if you really want to play the traditional tank role with the highest survivability in the game, then Succession is the choice for you. Next we have Sage, which also deserves to be placed in the A tier.
Every single class is A tier is what I learned today, guys.
Sage excels in PvP by utilizing high mobility and burst damage through wide range of skills.
He's showing Succession Sage, and then he said high mobility. Stop it. Stop.
Overall, he offers a dynamic and engaging experience for new players who enjoy a mix of magic and mobility in their gameplay. If you want more mobility and enhance your own agility, then go with Awakening. Or perhaps, if you are looking for maximizing damage potential while maintaining high defense, then go with Succession.
Okay, there is no high defense on Sage. I'm just going to rule that out immediately. Succession Sage has stronger burst damage. Really, think of it as Sork. It's Sorceress, slow moving. Okay, actually slower moving than even Sork is. Very slow moving, very heavy hitting class. Okay, hits really hard, moves really slow. Lots of solid iframes, but runs out of stamina super fast, just like Sork. Awakening is much stronger in PvE across the board most times because it has stronger AoE and stronger movement.
Next up we have Corsair, which also deserves to be...
Wait, why is Nova above Hash? Because this guy is... And I try not to use that word unless it's necessary. Okay. Have I not been showcasing that this entire video is a sham? That he has already re-released this 3 to 4 times already. The exact same video with a different title. It's literally re-uploaded again. It's the whole point of showing this.
Be placed in the A tier. She's a very versatile pirate-themed that combines agility and fluid movement, which allows her quick strikes and evasive maneuvers. Corsair...
Yeah, so Little Dick Mermaid Boy class. This is the pirate class in the game. If you really love sailing around as a pirate and you want to RP as one, this is your class. It was also the very first gunner class in the game that the developers completely forgot about before they made Deadeye, because they said that Deadeye was the first gunner class in the game. No, you cannot make this shit up. Awakening Corsair does have a gun that it shoots at people. Zerker gun, that's more of a cannon. I would give them a pass on that. That's like a hand cannon, right? An arm cannon. But like, this is a literal gun that she shoots. You have a little otter squad that comes with you. This is Awakening, by the way. You have a gun. You're kind of a mid-range assassin, kind of like Awakening Dark Knight, but you're worse at everything than everybody else is. People can make Awakening Corsair work, and the class does kind of in small scale to large scale PvP in terms of being a flanking assassin, but I will be honest with you, pretty much every other class in the game can do its job, but better. There's just no reason to play Awakening Corsair. In PvE, it is probably the worst class in the entire game, and I know I've said that about a few classes. I think Awakening Corsair is probably the worst class in the game in PvE. I have tried it. It is absolutely terrible. Yeah, like legitimately unplayable garbage in PvE. Succession Corsair is a little bit different, really solid in PvE, middle to above average at a lot of the spots in the game. Nothing wrong there. Low APM. In large scale PvP, an absolute menace, but you're really concerned about grabs as you get to small scale PvP, but overall, really solid class. That's why you see a lot of people playing Suck Corsair in uncapped PvP. Awakening Corsair, you really only see people play it when they're RPing, or there's just kind of like chronic rerollers play it from time to time because they're having fun, and then they immediately go to a better class.
Excels in both PvE and PvP, featuring
only because you couldn't use her mobility skill. No, that was on Succession. Stefano, no, I'm not even talking about that. Oh, you want to talk about that? I mean, no. No, I was playing Succession when I played it on stream. I've played Awakening Corsair a solid amount off stream. But Succession Corsair, yeah, her movement's a little bit wonky, but you'll notice I didn't even bring that up because I find it wonky, but like other players probably find it pretty fluid. I'm not trying to bring that into the argument at all. Everything I said was 100% based and true.
Skills that enhance her mobility.
_H just resubscribed for 33 months. Hot.
Suck Corsair also over any resilient guard class in PvP. True. Well, Corsair in general, her whale skills will hurt the frontal guards of her opponents. Generally, Succession has that passive on every single one of the whale skills. I think Awakening only has it on the 100%. But Succession, yes, can basically ass blast. Your frontal guard does not regenerate. If a Suck Corsair hits you, it's very frustrating. Really, really annoying.
And crowd control. Simply put, if you want to be great at PvE, then choose Awakening. But perhaps if you're more of a PvP player, then instead choose the Succession. Then for one of the last B tier classes, we have Dracania. She excels in PvE because of her high mobility.
No, she does not. No aspect of Dracania has ever excelled in PvE. I'm just going to say it now. Awakening and Succession Dracania have always been a B- to C tier class in PvE for the class's existence in this game. It's not even a question. I will say that they both got some pretty heavy buffs in this most recent patch, but so did everything else, which means that Succession Dracania is still complete ass. Okay? Because when everyone receives buffs, no one does. So
powerful.
Succession excels. I'm so sorry. Is Succession Dracania outperforming Awakening Nova anywhere? Is Succession Dracania outperforming Succession Witch? Is Succession Dracania outperforming even Succession Lan or Deadeye anywhere? No, it is not. Stop saying it excels anywhere. Stop lying to people. Stop lying to yourself. In the thigh department. True.
AoE skills and crowd control.
I just grinded 3 hours with my alchemy stone off.
Abilities. Her playstyle combines aggressive melee attacks with elemental powers, allowing her to unleash devastating combos. With her dynamic combat style and simple design, Dracania offers an engaging experience for players who enjoy aggressive gameplay. If you want more speed, go with Awakening, or if you want more survivability, then instead choose Succession.
That was actually correct. Every dog has his day. He's 100% right. My Dracania video actually says it better than anything. Basically, when you play Dracania, it's another Dami Mommy kind of class, but a little less so than Guardian. But really, you're mimicking aspects of a dragon. In Succession, you mimic like the sturdiness and like the tankiness of a dragon, where you feel like very powerful, right? You're slow moving but very heavy hitting. kind of creature. In an Awakening, you master like that flight mechanic, and then you've got the dragon, like the fire breathing and stuff going on. Much more fast, high-paced, flanking assassin style class versus Succession that is a frontline tank, like Bruiser style.
Next we have Wusa, and we will place her right in the A tier.
I'm a huge fan of Wusa. Just had to be done.
She has very impactful playstyle by utilizing ranged attacks and crowd control skills that disrupt enemies while at the same time supporting allies. Her playstyle emphasizes fluid movement, high mobility, and AoE skills. Her key mechanics involve summoning spirits to improve abilities and create powerful elemental attacks.
No, he's, again, a complete moron. Her key ability is that she beats the shit out of people with a fan, which is incredibly fun to do. But really, she summons, like, thunderclouds above people, and then she can activate the thunderclouds to start thunderstorming on people, and it will stun them. So you can, like, do these really cool setup moves in PvP where you can bait your enemy to stand underneath the thundercloud and then catch them when they're not ready. In PvE, this is extremely effective AoE burst and helps you farm in PvE very effectively. She was really strong in PvE for a long time. Nowadays, I'd say that she's still above average, but she's not like crazy exceptional in PvE. At least in the Succession format. In Awakening, she just got a lot of buffs, so it's tough to say, but so did everybody else. But Awakening is solid overall. I think it's less unique than the Succession counterpart, but it's fun. It's got a little tome. You can back attack people from the front. It's got its little gimmicks. A little bit more group PvP focus, so you could give people HP regen, but overall, it's, you know, not very many people play Awakening Wusa.
If you prefer more CC, then go with Awakening. However, if you enjoy
that's not true.
Maximizing your damage potential, then Succession might be the better option.
That is true.
Next we have
I know, guys, that on face value that Wusa and Megu don't have like super loot outfits necessarily, but I assure you that they are in fact dragging the wagon under there. Important to remember.
Megu, and we will place her right in the B tier. She excels in both PvE and PvP, featuring a playstyle that combines crowd control, healing, and AoE damage. Her skills allow her to summon spirits and create
Is this IGN? Yes.
Powerful illusions, which makes her amazing at
This is the Black Desert equivalent of IGN. True.
Both, so support and damage dealing. Her Awakening uses illusions and spirit summons to manipulate enemies and protect allies, while Succession offers more versatility and sustained damage.
Fuck no. So, Megu is pretty simple. Her Succession format utilizes a clone, so you can trick your opponents. She's a trickster. Unlike her, Wusa is like Wusa and Megu are sisters. Wusa is the stuck-up bitch, like Karen of a woman, who uses the fan and pretentiously beats people to death with her pimp cane. And Megu is the like hot emo sister who basically just loves, she's also a pyromaniac. Okay, so she's all about chaos and disorder. So basically she's a trickster. She can summon a clone to trick her opponents. Okay. In Succession, and she's basically a mid-range assassin, a lot like Awakening Dark Knight is. And then in Awakening, she is again the emo sister with Chaos. She's full melee assassin, so not very much range in Succession, with much more mobility, much cooler skill effects. Tell me I'm wrong. The Awakening Megu's skill effects are some of the coolest in the entire game, but it's also one of the hardest classes to pick up and play in the game because the developers are morons and they have not. There's no tooltip for your passive in Succession, so you really have to study for Awakening Megu, and like learning how the Awakening Megu passive actually works, because there's no tooltip or anything for you. There's no help. There's no guidance. The developers have completely left her out to dry. So like a lot of people confuse Awakening Megu's passive with one of the passives on one of her skills. It's just simply not the case, or how the passive works at all. It's extremely complex and very difficult to pick up for a new player. So I recommend starting with Succession because monkeys can play Succession successfully. It's very easy. Very, very easy. Also, Succession has more AoE and makes her better in PvE overall.
Then for the next,
Scholar is the class that you play if your favorite princess in Disney was Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Scholar is the most intelligent woman in the entire game. She's also just the most intelligent class overall. She's a physicist. And I'll be honest with you, that's a turnoff for a lot of guys. So not super popular, but she's still crazy attractive, and she's really fun to listen to. She says really fun things when she's grinding, but I'll let him show.
Next B tier, we have Scholar. She's another melee fighter that focuses on attacking enemies with targeted swiftness and immense power. In PvE, she has good passives. With some minor tweaks, I could see this class catching up to even the S tier. But for PvP,
she is in S tier in some of the places in PvP or PvE, and then in other places she's like ass.
This is where I have the biggest gripe with the Scholar, as the more people you fight, the more her usability goes out the window. She has an amazing grab for 1v1, but if you're fighting anything else, then for sure you will get outplayed. For this class...
What? Where did he get that from? What the? No, that's completely wrong. 3v3 AOS, Scholar is actually really good because of her anti-healing passive. She has anti-healing passives on a lot of her skills. When she hits you with them, your healing is like halved, so it's really powerful in that regard. Her damage is relatively low overall, but she's really protected on her movement, and you feel like Thor. Which is really sick. Scholar has like one outfit. No, Scholar has a lot of outfits, and I'll show you what my Scholar outfit looks like, because my Scholar is kind of a badass. I think she's over here. Yeah, Victorious. Badass name for a Scholar, by the way. I'll demonstrate what Scholar looks like and how she moves around. You feel like you're handling Mjolnir, you know, in the Avengers, right? If you're an Avengers fan. Look at the Dark Knight. See, this is what I'm talking about, bro. Dark Knight fans look at this shit, bro. What is that, dude? You know what you're getting with Dark Knight, all right? It is what it is. All right. Oh, I would say that my outfit looks pretty damn good on the Scholar. I'll just be honest. She looked kind of fresh and clean, bro. Ugly? What? How are you about to say that shit ugly, bro? Look at that, bro. She cute as f. She's also intelligent, which is a turn on. If you listen closely, listen to her. Really fun class. Really fun class. How'd you get that outfit? This is the La or Zeka outfit. La or Zeka outfit. You can get this by just grinding in the game. I don't think that you can buy it off the Central Market yet. And it's not on the Pearl Shop either. But this is one of those outfits that you have to go grind for. I love this. Honestly, dude, I need to tag my Scholar again, dude. She's fun to play. She's one of my favorite classes. I like her. I doubt they'll ever put that on the Central Marketplace. See, people said that about Carrix too, and here we are.
Class, both awakenings are pretty similar, so no matter which one you choose,
there is no awakening or succession for Scholar. They're both the same.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah, so again, this is a femboy anime class that you play if you normally play gacha games like Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact. Ghost is a great class for you.
And then for the last and final class, we have Dosa, which we will place also in the B tier. This is a melee fighter that currently is one of, if not the...
He also has a Pepsi sponsorship, which is pretty cool. Do you get main hand or Awakening Sovereign first on Scholar? Personally, I think that Scholar uses her sledgehammer more, but you could argue that the main hand is more important. You could go either one. I would just do the main hand. If it were me, I'd do the Awakening. If it were me personally, because I think her sledgehammer is more of her damage, and you use those skills more than you use the normal hammer skills. So I would recommend the sledgehammers.
Actually easiest class.
And again, it's like that for Archer too. Archer pretty much exclusively uses his Awakening weapon to do a shitload of damage. But this is different for Deadeye. is a perfect like Deadeye is the opposite. You want to take the main hand first.
Class to play. Overall, this class has very easy entry level, and his floor is also very easy to obtain. Mobility-wise, Dosa has a lot of wind-ups, although...
Did he say it was the last class? No. He's gonna do Deadeye.
And then for the last and final class, we have...
I stand corrected.
Dosa, which we will place also in the B tier. This is a melee fighter that currently is one of, if not the, actually easiest class to play. Overall, this class has very easy...
I wouldn't say he's the easiest class to play, but he is pretty easy, yeah.
Entry level, and his floor is also very easy to obtain. Mobility-wise, Dosa has a lot of wind-ups, although he's prone to grabs. Damage and protection-wise, he's mid-tier, but one big problem with this class is his CC, as most forward guard classes will just overpower the Dosa players. And as his magic damage, so you want to stay far away from strikers and mystics, and that's about it.
Well, you could say that for every class in the game. The thing that's ass about Succession Dosa is okay, I'm just gonna say it, I think the cloud particle effects are completely terrible. Some of the worst they've ever created. I hate them. I just do not like them. That's why I won't play Suck Dosa. I tried it. I just can't do it. It's annoying. I can't see my character right. Like, and when I fight Suck Dosa, this is the same thing. But then you can just, like, the whole point is that they're supposed to hide in the cloud, and you can just turn off other people's effects and see them. It's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
So if you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe, and comment.
Welcome back for 8 months. Saswap, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, buddy.
If you are interested in more content, check out my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. So take it easy.
What is this thumbnail? What the... First of all, we forgot Deadeye. 100% we forgot Deadeye. But you know what? His AI isn't up to date. Second of all, day 1 and day 3, literally the only difference is that he dyed his outfit. True! Hell of a ratio. Hell of a ratio.
So what's going on guys, Cadis here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you everything that you need to know as a new player in Plague.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Anyway guys, whenever you see Cade's videos, I strongly recommend not clicking on them, not going around them. I make those reaction videos for him just to raise awareness that everything in these videos is all misinformation. He has no idea what he's talking about. Never look at that. You need to go to like credible sources, guys. Credible sources. You gotta go to credible sources.